Good morning everyone and welcome back to another video on my YouTube channel. I am so happy to have you here as I take you through the first day of the 100-day challenge that we've recently started at Team Meraki. So for those of you who don't know, Team Meraki is a health and fitness consultancy and we've recently started a challenge that focuses on consistency and not physique transformations. So through this challenge, we're all just trying to, get back into the groove, get back into the routine of eating clean, getting our workouts done, and overall just doing things that are great for our health, both physically and mentally. I always start my mornings with iced coffee and a big bottle of water as I check my emails for anything important that needs my attention. Right after I decided to write out all the meals that I am planning on eating this week, I don't necessarily follow this to the T, but it really helps me identify what I need to buy from the supermarket so I don't go rogue and buy everything that I see there. So I spent some time figuring out what ingredients I would need for all these meals, and right after I decided to make a trip down to the supermarket, which is conveniently right under my building, and I got everything I needed for the week. Now, of course, I might have to restock some of the ingredients I bought, but that's okay. So for breakfast, I decided to have an omelette, which I made with 2 eggs, added some low-fat cheese on top with some chipotle sauce, 1 slice of toast on the side, as well as an apple. So I'm trying to be more mindful of incorporating more fruit into my diet. So I finished up some work and then it was time for lunch. Now you can see me measuring out the amount of oil that I'm using for this recipe, and that's super important because it's very easy to go overboard in terms of dietary fat if you don't measure the amount of oil you're using. Now the oil was really hot, so you can see me stepping back a bit. I absolutely love burgers, so I'm making myself a chicken keema burger, all homemade. So I just went and got minced chicken, added an egg, onion, chilies, spices to it, and I'm basically just, frying it on the pan for about 3 to 4 minutes per side until it looks beautifully golden brown like this. It was pretty easy to cook, honestly. And I also chopped up some veggies on the side for assembling my burger, and also made myself a really nice Greek feta cheese salad, which it was so good, trust me. Added some low-fat cheese on top of my patty, and then I toasted the buns using whatever residual oil was left in the pan. You could totally use butter, but I was just trying to save on some calories here. And then it was time to assemble. So I started with the bottom bun, added my all-time favorite chipotle mayo right on top. Be careful with how much sauce you use, by the way. This was all measured out. Then I topped this with some lettuce and tomatoes. I also salted my tomatoes, so remember to do that. Added the patty with the melted cheese on top. Just look at how beautiful that looks. Also topped that off with some ketchup, and then I realized I didn't add my onions, so then they went in at this point. And then finally the top bun, and voila! The burgers were ready. This was a very delicious and well-balanced meal. We had a good amount of fat, carbs and protein coming from the burger, and a lot of fiber coming from the salad here, which kept me full for a really long time after. I had Coke Zero on the side before I went back to working a little while, and then it was time to go to the gym. Honestly, I was really brain drained today and took a nap for about 20 minutes right before I had this coffee, and I wasn't in the mindset to go to the gym at all, and that wasn't a great way to start day one of this challenge. So I put on my gym clothes and went anyway, had a superb workout, and ended up eating at Wendy's right after.
Right, so we are done with day 1 out of 100. Now I know I did not record my dinner, I completely forgot, but basically after the gym we went straight to Wendy's and I grabbed a crispy chicken burger. Accounted that in my fitness pal. I've gone overboard by about 100 calories today. I'm not too bothered, honestly, because I had an amazing workout, did back biceps, so it was pretty intense. That is it for day 1. I think it went really well, and we've just got to keep this streak going. I will see you tomorrow morning.
Welcome to day 2 out of 100 of the 100-day challenge. So today also started with a large cup of iced coffee because I really wanted to savor this today, and honestly, having my iced coffee is one of my favorite parts of the day, and I was feeling really burnt out from all the work I had done in the coaching vertical of Team Meraki, so I decided to take a step back and just do some creative work today. So I started off by creating a worksheet that I sent out to my participants and coaches to help them reflect on what their goals are, or what are the things that they currently struggle with or are good at within the health and fitness domain. And I think that self-awareness really goes a long way because it tells you exactly what you need to work on to really get to your goal. So right after this, I decided to make myself some brunch because I completely forgot to eat breakfast. This is something that happens when I'm in my creative flow. So I made myself a very simple egg and cheese McMuffin and also had an apple on the side. As I told you, I'm really trying to be mindful of my fruit intake. Right after this, I decided to get into editing this very video that you're watching right now. Editing is something that gives me a lot of happiness. I know that some people find it stressful, but honestly, for me, it's a stress buster. It's work, but it doesn't really feel like work at all. And then, of course, I got hungry again, so I decided to indulge in this small packet of Hello Panda, which has only about 184 calories per packet. This is going to keep me going until I have my second cup of coffee and pre-workout before I go to the gym. I am honestly looking forward to my workout today because it's a Tuesday, which means it's Zumba day. So at my gym, they do Zumba sessions every Tuesday and Thursday. And I did try going for 2 sessions per week, but honestly, that took the life out of me. I am going to try doing that this week, but we'll see how it goes. So my session doesn't start until 7:45 p.m. and it's only 5 p.m. right now. However, honestly, I am very, very hungry because I've only had one meal today. So I decided to make myself a pretty heavy pre-workout meal along with my evening cup of coffee. So I toasted 2 slices of bread and also cut up one large banana. Once the slices of bread were done toasting, I put some peanut butter on one side, and I always use Skippy super chunky peanut butter. And on the other side, I'm using this 4 berries jam that I recently got. It's so good. Now, always be careful of how much of each of these condiments you're using because again, it can quickly pile up, especially if you are trying to stay within a caloric budget. And then all you have to do is place the banana slices on top of these slices of toast and you're good to go. Truth be told, I would have loved to have some maple syrup and cinnamon to go on top of this, but because of the jam, it was sweet enough and delicious on its own. Back in the day, this used to be my favorite pre-workout meal and it doesn't disappoint till date. I think what's best about this meal is that it's very versatile and you can switch up the fruits as per your liking. It's also very high energy yielding and I can't wait to go and smash my Zumba session today because I know I have the energy I need. At around 6:45 p.m. I left to go to the gym because my Zumba session was at 7:45 p.m. and it takes me 45 minutes or so to reach. Had an amazing session, washed my face, got home, took a shower, and then it was time for dinner. Once again, I had a grilled chicken burger. This time I added a fried egg into it and also some roasted peanuts into the salad. I stayed up for a little while longer and at 11 o'clock I went to bed. Alright, welcome to day 3. Now today I'm wearing this beautiful t-shirt that says caffeinated and describes literally my life. This is a sample that we got from Meraki merch, which hopefully we should have a launch date for soon. So I realized that I didn't have any important meetings or calls this morning, so I decided to treat myself to some retail therapy. Now randomly I came across the fact that Gymshark has a mid-season sale. I've honestly been scrolling this site and a few others for a few days now, so I had a bunch of things in my wish list, added them to my cart and checked out immediately. Then I started feeling hungry, so it was time to make my protein oatmeal. This is also a meal that I've been having for quite a few years, and I must say it was a little bit of an acquired taste. I didn't like oats the first time I ate them until I figured out how to make them and what kind of toppings I personally prefer. So all I did was added some hot water to some instant oats, left that covered for a couple of minutes to cook until it looked like this, and chopped up some berries on the side for my toppings. I did add a little too much water, which is why it's so runny right now, but it's okay. Then I added 1 scoop of chocolate protein powder and also mixed all of that together. Generally, it starts off looking really dry and then it all comes together. So don't add any extra liquid at this point if you are making it in the same way. Then I just topped this off with berries and I realized that I completely forgot to add peanut butter into my oatmeal. Trust me, that makes all the difference. So if you're watching this and you've got an idea, then please add peanut butter to your oatmeal. It just makes the whole thing so much more creamy and delicious. What I love about protein oatmeal is the fact that it takes only 5 minutes to put together, and also that it's full of fiber. So this keeps me full for a really long time until it's time for lunch, and this reduces the probability of me snacking on things that I don't want to be snacking on when I'm watching my calories. So I just finished up some client check-ins and wiped this bowl clean, and then it was time to do my hair because I woke up looking like a lioness. And let me tell you, the water over here is not doing any favors for my hair. It's become really dry and unmanageable. So if you guys have any suggestions for hair care, please leave them in the comments below. Then I realized that I didn't have any time to make lunch, so I just ordered this beautiful shish tawuk platter. If I had to make a list of my top 3 reasons why you should live in Dubai, I'm sure food is going to be number 1. I think Middle Eastern food is so underrated, and even the foods that I'm showing you on screen right now are just the tip of the iceberg, and I'm sure there is so much more to this cuisine that I don't even know of right now. These are just the popular foods and they're already so good. I cannot wait to explore more of this cuisine. So I had only half of this platter because it was extremely filling, and I knew I would just, get into a food coma if I ate the whole thing. So I enjoyed that, went back to doing some work, and then it was time for my evening coffee. But this time I'm using lactose-free milk because I do have a feeling that I've got an issue with lactose. Every time I drink milk, I am so bloated, but I love the flavor too much to switch to oat milk or almond milk at this point. So I tried lactose-free milk and I think it worked out pretty well. Then I took the metro to the gym. This was a 45-minute commute, which I love so much because I take this time to really listen to a podcast, and this is my me time for the day. So I went to the gym, had an amazing push session, did chest, shoulder, triceps, and then went to the salon to get my brows done, which is significantly more expensive here as compared to India, but I got it done anyway. And then I got home, ordered some Thai food, which I enjoyed while watching something on TV. And then for dessert, I had one of these Reese's peanut butter cups, and then I called it a night.